Well, hello to everyone out there in the Matrix. I am not sure if this is going to actually be live streaming or not. I do know that there is problems with the internet. I spoke to someone in Canada, and they are also having the same problems with the internet. So this doesn't seem to be unique to the United States. It is also happening in Canada. So for whatever reason, the internet is going in and out. Would remain to be seen. But anyways, if this is live streaming, I'm going to do a tarot card reading about some things that are happening right now in the world. And I'm sorry I haven't shaved because I haven't had a job to go to since March 20th, since we began our lockdown. I've already shuffled these cards, and my query with it was COVID-19 and what the mainstream media, they keep using a certain phrase over and over and over again, which is the new normal. Hey, Snuff, good morning. They keep using the same phrase over and over, the new normal. And from what I know of programming, they are not doing that for no reason. And for those of you out there that may believe that once we are given the green light and that this is over, I might question that because you're not going to have broadcasts coming on all the time with the talking heads, paid off people, these newscasters repeating that same phrase over and over, the new normal. They're doing that for a reason. So, anyways, I'm going to jump right into this reading. I've already um, shuffled these cards, give it another cut. The query that I put into this was for COVID-19 and what is really taking place with this. So let me go ahead. I'll start with the first card here. So this is the Five of Cups. So I'm sorry, this is actually the Six of Cups. I can't even see this with my eyes on. Six of Cups. Um, so what is coming through in this card is that we are being told a lot of things, and a lot of this is geared to um, I'm getting like a finale, like and it's promising um, a light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak, but that it's yes, a lot of things are being offered, like as this comes to fruition and all of that, there is we are being told that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I repeated that, but all of these cups are filled, which is showing that they're kind of presenting this as we at the end of this, we're going to come out of this okay, but I'm picking up deception around that. The next card is the Ace of Wands. So again, this card has a lot of deception. There, and this being the Ace of Wands, it is almost like there is a hidden hand. There's a hidden hand behind this, and it's very interesting because this is not just one individual. This is actually more than one, and the ace can be a 1 or 11. So this is actually not a single individual. This is like um, several individuals that are involved in what we are going through now, um, as a whole of humanity. So the next cup is the Three of Cups. And if you notice, those cups are empty. What they what is coming out now in the media and these news conferences, they're talking about this peak is leveling out and all of that. Um, there is a lot of celebration among the population, thinking that this is going to come to an end. And a few examples, one right off the top of my head, I know at certain counties in the state of Florida, they have opened some of the beaches. However, it is some counties are from 6 in the morning to 12 noon. They all have different hours. The thing about that is you can go on the beach, but you have to keep moving. You can't put down a blanket. You can't put up an umbrella. You can't bring chairs. You have to keep moving. So this is kind of like a psyop that I'm getting here, is that they're throwing out some breadcrumbs and pacifying the masses to think that this is about to be over. And there's celebration with this. I know that in Jacksonville, Florida, they had the media out there, and there were hundreds of people on the beach. Maybe this is the new normal they're talking about, where you can go outside and go, but you still, it's the new normal. You have to keep moving. So this is the Eight of Pentacles. And right off the bat in this card here, I'm getting the stock market coming up in this. And again, a lot of deception revolving around this stock market. It it makes one wonder how the stock market um, is has risen incredibly, considering millions of people are out of work. It makes you wonder where this money is coming from. It makes me wonder where this money is coming from. I heard a report. I didn't actually see this myself, but I saw a report from someone that said that the Dow had closed at uh, 500 points or more. Where's this money coming from? Nobody has money. Nobody has jobs. Who is investing in the stock market? Anyways, a lot of deception involving revolving around the money. Actually, in this card here, I'm getting the feeling that this is fake, manipulated, something to do with the stock market. It is manipulated. There's something not right with that. Again, another pentacle card, the Queen of Pentacles. Hmm. Right off the bat, with this card, the first thing that came to my mind was Hillary Clinton. I would say if anybody wanted to get to the real nitty gritty of this, which at the end of the day, nobody does, at least from a governmental standpoint, look into Hillary Clinton and some of her cohorts that are holding hands. Um, should any of her 33,000 emails that were destroyed, if they were to resurface, a lot would be gained by that. And for people that really know how data is stored via the internet, nothing ever really disappears. It is always there. You may delete it, you may not be able to see it, and other people may not be able to see it, but I can tell you that data is still there, and it's likely being held by Google because this data never disappears. We can't see it, but it's still there. Another money card, the Seven of Pentacles. And what is coming about, what we are being driven towards as like sheep to the slaughter, money involved. There are a handful of people making incredible fortunes on this, and at the expense of the masses. And so this may very well have to do with these unusual anomalies with the stock market going up when millions of people have lost their jobs and are probably not investing in anything other than food. But there are individuals that are making untold fortunes we will never even know about. So this is a major arcana card. This is the Emperor. So it's coming through in this card, a very powerful individual, and I'm getting I'm getting with this that it definitely has to do with Asia and China, and also with Hillary Clinton and one of her cohorts of deception. In this card, also, one of our former presidents, Barack Obama, is coming up in this card. Both of them with a connection to China and what we see having unfold right now worldwide. This, whatever was going down with Clinton, Obama, and a very powerful person in China, um, this this had taken place before we knew anything about any kind of coronavirus or COVID or anything like that. This dark, what's the way to say this? Hidden, this hidden negotiation or something was taking place before we were even aware of any COVID or coronavirus type situation. So this card here is the Knight of Cups. And so the Knight can at times, depending on the reading, have something to do with a battle, a battle amongst people, division. Um, you got one group of people that believe that this whole lockdown scenario is the right way to go. You have another camp that believes that the whole lockdown scenario is not the way to go. And that it is creating a battle, a division amongst the population. However, this card being having an empty cup, either way you look at it, most of us will not benefit out of exactly what they're telling us, either whether it's going this direction or this direction. For the majority of us, it's not really going to make a difference. So the next card is the Three of Hearts. Notice that the swords are inside of the heart. This this is coming through strongly that this is a spiritual war, and for the lack of a better way of saying it, a war between good and evil, light and dark. There is this, what is transpiring right now is a spiritual war. It's a war against humanity, the human soul. And it's with the swords being inside of the heart is telling me, at least at this point in time of this reading, is that this has to get worse before it gets better. And at the same time, in this card, it doesn't necessarily mean that all of us are going to be here when there is that light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. So, yeah, I don't. This card here, I'm not really getting a good feeling about that, and it keeps coming back to me. This phrase that keeps being put into our subliminal mind from the mainstream media, and you could put on any channel where these puppets, these, and I wouldn't even call them journalists, they're teleprompter readers, but that phrase that they keep mentioning over and over and over to program us and put this into our subconscious is this phrase, the new normal. I would pay attention to that because they're telling us, for some reason, whether the psychopaths get off on the idea of um, making us think that uh, things are gonna, once this blows over, things are gonna get back to normal. The fact of the matter is, just from the media continuously saying this phrase, the new normal, I would pay very close attention to, because they're telling you exactly what is in store for us. And if you think for 1 minute that when the green light comes on and they start opening things up and we come out of this lockdown, that there are that we're going back to the way we were before this, I don't see that. This is not coming through in these cards. This is why the mainstream media intentionally is programming everyone for the new normal. Because I will say, we are not ever going back to a normalcy prior to this worldwide lockdown. You don't lock down the entire world over a virus that is, according to leading scientists and doctors, that say that this is less dangerous than the common cold or the common flu. Now, taking that into account, they already know, and it very well could have nothing to do with COVID, Corona. The idea behind all of this is to bring us into this new normal that they so happily keep regurgitating over and over and over in the mainstream media. They're telling us, y'all, they're telling us before the fact that this happens, that when they start easing these lockdowns, there is going to be a new normal. And you can take that to the bank, because it is going to be a new normal and it is not going to be good for the rest of us. So, anyways, I think that's it on this tarot card reading. I tried to keep it at 20 minutes. It's 23 minutes. I'm surprised that this even let me stream. I don't know if anybody else is having um, problems with the Wi-Fi. I know in my area I am. I know that I know someone in Canada that yesterday they started experiencing it. Although all last week I was having problems with the internet service. I think there might have been someone else actually in the United States that had mentioned that to me. So, whether or not that has anything to do with trying to get rid of communication between people via social media, or either being able to try and research something about this on the internet, I can tell you in my area that the internet is intermittent. I mean, and it happens hourly. It goes down. You have to wait on it to come back up. And I'm sure there are people out there that would say, well, everybody's at home, so everybody is on the internet, and so it's causing it to slow down. I don't really believe that. I don't buy into that. But nevertheless, that's just my opinion. Um, yes, enough. I could see how there could be multiple waves of disease or diseases coming our way, and simply based on the fact that they are saying that this alleged coronavirus is mutating. And I did an interview or I did a live stream way back when, and I can't remember if I removed that from YouTube, but it had to do with this virus that everyone's talking about and that has got us on lockdown. There was something to do with something artificial about that. And I thought about that sometimes, wondering what exactly the word artificial meant. And sometimes when you're doing a reading, it isn't exactly clear, but the word artificial could mean different things. At the time of that live stream, I was getting the impression that this coronavirus was um, artificial in the sense that it had been tweaked, like through, um, well, just tweaking it, only to find out a week or 2 weeks later into this lockdown, they start reporting that this is mutating. So that very well could be done artificially. And there's something else, real quickly, that I would like to add about this virus. I'm not 100% sure that it is 100% biological in nature. I think there are components of this virus that are, how do I say it, programmed artificially, and that it is not completely biological in nature. This is where, should some psychopaths decide to tweak it, it could be done through a frequency, since it is not entirely biological, and possibly there are elements of artificial intelligence in it. It could be tweaked in order to make this even more devastating. So if you listen to the newest mainstream media talking heads, really pay attention to what they're saying, because they're telling us. It can often be cryptic, encrypted, but they're telling us, and I'll reiterate it again, pay attention to what they are saying, because they're telling us. And you have to read between the lines with this stuff, because while they are putting out a lot of false information, for some reason they have to throw in a little bit of truth. So, anyways, I'm at 28 minutes. I went over, trying to keep it at 20 minutes. I'm going to end it. Snuff, thanks for dropping in. I hope you're safe up there where you are, and stay safe. I'm going to end this transmission now. I hope everybody stays safe and sound. And remember, they're telling us what they're doing. Just pay attention to what they're saying and how they're saying it and their choice of wording. God bless you too, Snuff. Everybody have a great day. That is the end of the transmission. Stay safe.